Nothing screams heroic like complaining about men and then having all your problems solved off screen. I've read many pre-character books already, and some of them ranging from Medusa to Morgan Le Fay of the Arthurian legend. And yes, I have also been watching Epic along with everybody else on the internet. But that's not what I want to really talk about. I feel it a little disturbing that so many authors are trying to just rehash Greek mythology or Greek characters or some kind of mythos character instead of writing their own books the way they want to. Because when you use a pre-made character from something else or somewhere else, you have to follow a certain amount of guidelines, checkpoints, plot points, and flags that they otherwise would have just been able to iron out with proper writing. I know it was a really popular modern trend a couple years back, but unfortunately, I can't say that these authors add anything new or truly inspiring. The context of the book and the plot and the characters, it's already a set in stone plot that the authors can't modernize or change in any capacity that matters. So they're essentially just writing a book based off somebody else's characters instead of fleshing out their own. It just seems like a quick cash grab. Especially since most of these characters' victories and failures are already pre-programmed into the story. And I don't know about you, but my favorite part of any video game is the pre-made structured characters that I don't get to do anything at all with. Totally, man. I love playing video games where I have no agency at all, and it's all predetermined, so none of it even matters. And I found that the book with the most freedom was the one with the least amount of background context to it. Morgan Le Fay. I could honestly gush about this book for hours because it actually added a lot of background and character and heart to an otherwise unknown character that's categorized as the witch. I highly recommend it. It's a 5 out of 5 read, especially if you love some Arthurian legends. I highly recommend it. The only downside that it falls to with this type of writing is that it's very typical that things happen off screen from the character because she's not supposed to have been in the picture from according to the legend. Which means that anything dramatic that does happen usually happens off screen, and the character is reacting to the drama rather than being the catalyst for the drama, which can be very boring depending on how it's written. A lot of times these characters have no reason not to be in the picture, and they're just sidelined because that's what happens in the pre-programmed life. They're not necessarily characters, they're more like caricatures that have to wait their turn for something to happen, which again is very boring and not very initiative. It's not very pro-initiative for female empowerment, especially since that's kind of their gig in this book. In the book, Morgan is my name. She's very proactive in her own life, as much as she can be when she's controlled by evil forces that want to put her down, even coming from her own good boy king brother. Which is why it was especially disappointing that a story about Medusa had nothing going for it, or even was about Medusa. And the book Ariadne was very disappointing because she had a good life, and yet at every turn the book kept reminding you how evil men were or how evil the gods were. And even though she was kind of proven in the end, it didn't really pay off in any significant way. Like, Ariadne had to go through so much And then she had to go through so much, but it just also seemed like she could have been happy as she was. But instead, she kind of complained about the gods most of the time until it kind of became a self fulfilling prophecy. The book also has a ridiculous amount of man hating in it, so I'm not about that. I support women's rights and I support women's wrongs. This ain't it. So, what I take away from all of this is that it's better to just write your own story and the characters you want rather than trying to pile on your political beliefs onto some other characters that definitely did not believe in the same beliefs you do. And at the end of the day, it's time to write your own book. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.